I can give you, what I want to do though, is I want to give you just a little bit of this data. I mean, please go research this for yourself. But I want to give you just a little smattering of it right here. Of this pattern. So you can, so you know. Here is, all of this is the national cycle. This is the first day, first night, second day, second night, all that, all the way down. During the first day of the national cycle, let me show you where that was. That was from 3115 BC forward, okay? This is the national cycle. Here we are in this one. That one is 3115 BC, then the power cycle, and then ethics, or then galactic cycle. What happened in the very first day of that is this was the first idea of one God. Remember there used to be lots of gods? I mean, all the reasons, you know, there was a rock god, there was a tree god, there was a sky god, there was a... well, right here was the first idea that there was just one God in charge of everything, or created everything. During the first night, which is the application of that, Abraham moved to Canaan and started up a church for that one God. That was the application of that. Then, down here, I'm going to skip a little bit. Down here, the third day is always, always, when the truth comes forward, comes busting forward during the third day. That third day of that cycle was when Moses received the 10 Commandments. Has that got anything to do with law? Boy, it was laying it down. During that third day, boom, the law was laid down, and that's what the national cycle was all about. Then, during the third night, Islam was created during this third night. And Pythagoras was developing his theories of geometry during this third night. Okay? During the fourth day, right here, during the fourth day, Confucius, Lao Tzu, which was a very important Chinese philosopher, Buddha, and the idea of reincarnation in India. That's what happened during the fourth day. Right in the middle of this cycle. What we have here is down here in the fifth day, of course, there was Jesus. Okay, down here was more about the second thing of Islam. Here, in the sixth day, was the Crusades, and the Catholic Church was developed. Down here, and then we went into the second wave of Islam, which was the coming back after the Crusades, their backwash. And then we had the Pilgrims down here. And more development of Christianity, up to where we are now. Over here, in the planetary cycle, this was, of course, 1755, and what we had here was the beginning of the first idea of a telegraph. It didn't even exist yet. It was just written about. Then, during 1794, we had the optical telegraph, right here. Then in 1834, we had the electrical telegraph developed. During the fourth day, down here, we had the telephone invented. And Tesla. You know who Tesla is? With electricity. I was working with Westinghouse and then split off from them and developed what would be free energy during the fourth day. Then we have down here, we have, in the 5th day, the radio was invented, and of course, E equals mc squared. Then here, in the 6th day, the television was invented. And then down here, in the 7th day, the internet. Okay? Now, let's go over here and look at the galactic. This is planetary. Here we are at the galactic. What are we going to see here? Well, in 1999, we saw Y2K, right? Then, during this first night, which was the very end of 99 into 2000, what we saw was the WFO riots, World Federation Organization, the consolidation of power was rebelled against during that period of time. There was, during the year of 2000, we had the display of polarity, that is, people in the streets backing away from the power organization. That's in the second night, 2001, we had 9/11. Pretty strong demonstration of the haves and have-nots. During the third day, which started in 2002, we had, also right here, we had the financial collapse, the tech bubble burst right there. 2002, we had Enron. 2003, we have the rest of them. Plus, we have the scandal, let's just call it scandals, coming to light. In other words, during this third day, the truth started to flow out. The things weren't right. During the third night, it has been applied, hasn't it? People are going to jail. People who were caught then are going to jail now. What people were finding out about the economy and how rickety it is, now, during this third night, the economy is failing. The money supplies, well, there's over money supply, which means that your dollar is worth less and worthless and worthless and worthless. And all that is coming forward right now. Right now. Preparing to sweep the field clear for the fourth day. Remember, the fourth day here, all this philosophy was developed here. Here, we got the ability to communicate freely and Tesla with his work in energy. What we're looking at right here is the exposure of free energy for everyone. This, during the fourth night, is when it will become applied worldwide. What is the discrepancy between the rich and the poor? How much power they have available. How much energy they have at their disposal. That is the only thing. Without enough energy available to everyone, you can manufacture lack of anything. You can manufacture a lack of water, of food, of transportation, easily, just by regulating the amount of energy they have. Here, that ends. In the fourth day, which is, it starts November 28th, 2005. Almost the end of 2005, November, is when that starts. And runs through 2006. Here we have 2007, I'll just write it that way. 2007 is the fifth day. Now here we had Jesus, here we had E equals mc squared. Here, what do you suppose is going to happen? Don't you suppose maybe a blend of the two? The fact that you are divine and that everything is possible. I mean, here is where we're liable to meet the neighbors. Extraterrestrials. Right there. 2007. We can't meet them face to face right now because we don't have an ethical consciousness, do we? We have a power consciousness. We shouldn't be out there. Can you see us out there in the galaxy right now? Earth #1, we'll kick your, you know, that's how we'd go at it. We'd be attacking everybody. We're under quarantine until we get over this power trip. Then we'll be able to meet the neighbors. And during this time, right here, in 2000, by 2008, there will be the end of manufactured lack. Absolutely, there won't be any lack of anything. Because up here, during this period of time, we will have teleportation. You think we're kidding? I have an article right here about, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but there's a little article right here about spooky science. You guys read that in the paper? It was in your guys' paper. Spooky science offers promising step toward ultra-fast computers, but what they're talking about here is the ability to record the molecular data of an object or thing, or you, and then send that data instantly to another place and have it remanufactured at the other end. Beam me up, exactly. And they're moving right toward it. It's constant acceleration. So by this time, by 2007, we'll have teleportation, at least for objects. Of course, that'll put everybody out of a job. Yeah. I mean, everybody, most of you guys have something to do with the delivery of goods or services. It's instant delivery. And if you can take a recording and send it once, why not be able to send it 1,000 times to different places, all at the same time?
So where's the fall of the financial world?
Right now. Now. This, third night. Right here. The question is, when is the falling of the financial world? Right now. The dollar and the Canadian dollar, the loonie and the toonies are absolutely worthless. They're worth nothing. They're not worth any, they're taking up space in your pocket.
So what's going to replace it in the new world then?
Only admiration. Yeah. Then, I'm going to go on just a little bit. 2009 will be a time of getting used to bliss. It's going to take some practice. We've been so involved in everything going wrong that we're going to have to get used to being able to create things going right. It's going to be like learning to walk or live all over again. And this all leads toward what we were talking about right here, October 28th, 2011. October 28th, 2011, the end of the Mayan calendar, when we are consciously co-creating our experience. Time travel is all in here too. So if you can travel any time you want, what good's the calendar? You know, it all goes, the whole idea of time and space goes extinct as orientations. That's what's in our future. We do have this little bit of a hump to get over here with the governments and the economy. Yes?
If time travel becomes normal, are you saying that we could travel into our past as well?
I'm not sure.
Would that be a...
I know that it's coming. I know that we have already time-traveled electrons in the laboratory.
So there would be You could meet the people that have now died. You could go back.
Possible. Everything is becoming more and more possible. Yeah.
It's pretty hard to conceive, isn't it?
It really is. It's sort of like being 4 years old and your mom is like pulling stuff off the top shelf. You know stuff is up there. but you don't know what it is. It's just not at that stage yet, and that's how we all are right now. Oh, up here.
Say something in a little response to her, but I mean, if you know a little bit about shamanism, they're time travelers.
Shamans?
Yeah.
Oh,
like
yeah.
The universal experiences, they will see prehistoric beasts or whatever, and it's universal no matter what culture they came from.
Yes, it is.
That's a time traveling.
Yeah, indigenous people already had bits and pieces and parts of this all along. We've lost it, and now we're gaining it back. Sometimes you don't know what you got until it's gone. You know?
Native cultures weren't persecuted as much.
Yeah, it won't be this time. It'll be wide open, accepted, and understood. Yeah. Yes?
Yeah, just you mentioned the source or where creation is coming from and our consciousness. I just wanted you to comment on something I read about this Mayan calendar was kind of written off by our science, right? Basically.
Well, it's being confirmed by our science.
But early on, they didn't really pay attention to it, like for instance.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
but I've books like the Edgar Cayce books, and that it came from outer space. Other people, not scientists, were trying to say that the Mayan people could not have had this, and that they got it from somewhere else. I don't agree with that. Why couldn't people have it? You know, but could you comment on that? And now you're saying that we're just about to meet the neighbors, and somebody else was saying that they've already met the neighbors and got all this from them, right?
Right. At least a couple of neighbors. Not all the neighbors. You know, like individuals. Well, like extraterrestrials are here right now. Power-hungry, sneaky, secretive, unethical alien beings. Not everybody out there with high tech is all goodness and light, you know. So we're already in some sort of contact with extraterrestrials, but they're not the ethical ones. What I'm talking about here is we'll be in face-to-face contact, good, clean communication with our neighbors, exchanging data and technology and all that on an ethical basis. Yes? Any other questions? Oh, yes. Up here at the front again.
With this type of calendar, I watched several documentaries on prophecies from all different nations since the beginning of times till now. So how do all the chaotic things fit in? Say, Nostradamus is, for example, saying we are disembarking on maybe a 27-year period of absolute war and miserable things.
Well, we're embarking on an absolute destruction of everything that you rely on.
Okay, so that's all included.
Yeah. Everything that you rely on, delivery of electricity, of food, of water, and stuff like that, will all be threatened in the very, very near future.
So this isn't going to blissfully transfer.
Oh, no. Just like Bush is not going to go, oh, I'm sorry, excuse me, I screwed up. I'm out of here. No. He and all of his people are not going to walk away. Yeah, it's going to be rough. But it's going to be short. Very important to understand. It's going to be quick, vicious, and over with. 6 months. 6 months. 6 to 9 months most. And then we'll be putting the pieces back together. But we do necessarily have to go through that. And every time, every third night, there is like a boom. Revolution. Well, here. This one, 1854. What was happening in America, 1854, right there, 1861, was the Civil War. And during this whole period, there's civil wars all over the world. In Russia, in India, in Spain, France, there were civil wars everywhere. We're just going through the same cycle again. The world didn't end then. It's not going to end now. It's just going to be rough. Yeah.
About the changes that you're talking about in your Okanagan tapes, you had mentioned that shortly after this December, there's the issue of the slowing of the rotation of the Earth.
Oh, yeah, that was Greg Braden.
That's
talking
from Braden's
about-
material?
was-
That's from Greg Braden's material?
Yeah, Greg Braden was, I was referencing to Greg Braden's material where he was saying that we're going to be coming to 0 point.
Right.
Zero magnetics and a slowing of the Earth and then a reversing of
Oh,
the spin.
I would like to hear your comments on what type of a reality you envision after the Earth has stopped and started the other way, in light of the comments about all these new technologies supposedly coming in. And
I don't have anything concrete to say about it.